Let me start with a question. Have you ever played or watched a piece of media that fills you with a sense of nostalgia, despite not having any previous experiences with whatever it was? Yeah, that's exactly how I felt the first time I played Guitaroo Man Lives. Now I have to explain, this is in no way a review. I'm not qualified at all for that sort of thing. All I want to do is spread knowledge and start a conversation about this game, so first, let's start with a brief history and rundown of the story of Gitaroo Man. Gitaroo Man was originally released on the PS2 in 2002 in Europe. It was then re-released as Gitaroo Man Lives in 2006 on the PSP. It had some extra content such as multiplayer mode. There was even a small demo they released exclusively in Japan in 2002 along the release of the actual game called Gitaroo Man 1. It contained a demo of the second level with an exclusive cutscene and mini-game revolving around Puma eating donuts that fall from the sky. Delicious! The game was developed by Ennis and published by Koei. Ennis are a company focused on rhythm-based games such as Elite Beat Agents on the Nintendo DS or the Lips franchise on the Xbox 360. They also kickstarted a Parappa the Rapper-esque game in 2017 called Project Rap Bunny. Although the game's development was cancelled because they couldn't reach their goal amount, I do still hold out hope that we'll see the game someday. The game revolves around this kid called U1 coming to terms with his heritage as he possesses the final Gitaroo. For the sake of keeping this video short, think of it as a magical guitar. I mean, the game literally does not explain it beyond that, so it's probably best we just leave it as a, magic guitar.
Hi.
Okay.
He is then pursued by the evil mastermind Zowie, who for all intents and purposes looks exactly like his childhood bully Kazuya. And various other people who want to claim the Gitaroo as their own. As you may have noticed, this is at heart a rhythm game. Unlike other games in the genre where you press the button and it makes the music sound, Gitaroo Man's gameplay is quite unique. In each level except one revolving around a mechanical shark chasing you through space, you have a circle in the centre of the screen that represents you and your Gitaroo. You have to follow the trace line with your left analog stick whilst pressing and holding a button when a note appears on the trace line. Each level is split up into three main sections: Charge, where you play notes correctly in order to fill up your health bar; Attack, where you play notes correctly in order to reduce the enemy's health bar; and Guard, where you press square, circle, triangle or the cross button in a sequence in order to dodge the enemy's attacks. Well, once you've damaged the boss enough, you enter the final phase. This is the harmony phase, which is much like the attack phase, except the music reaches a crescendo and the visuals get all epic and you have to put that boss in its place. I don't actually have a good segue into the next section, so here's a few fun facts about the game. Zowie, as the direct opposition of Yuon, also has a cat who's direct opposition of Puma. This cat is actually called Ming Ming, and she appears as an opponent in the PSP version of the game. Did you also know that the backup band that follows you throughout the game actually all have names? These names are Naren in the rabbit suit, Young in the monkey suit, and Mr. Yasuda in the panda suit. Finally, did you know that the Sandbone Trio used their bones as a Gitaroo, and a small detail that the developers included was that the pelvic bones of these characters are actually shaped to look like DualShock controllers. Gitaroo Man found its way into my life at a very important point of time of any person's life, a point in the UK that we refer to as high school. When I was in high school, I always had this underlying fear of growing up. I was hyper aware of my existence and I was scared to do anything because I knew that there were no do-overs. You had one chance with everything that you did, and the permanence of everything that we do as people terrified me to the point of not wanting to do anything. Then, during one of my very common late night YouTube deep dives, I was just listening to video game music on a playlist and reading comics. Suddenly, a song started playing that caught my ear by complete surprise. The soft guitar, the calm tempo, the song just leapt out of my phone and comforted me. During a period of time where I felt anxious and unsure, the song made me feel like everything was going to be okay. I may not know what I wanted to be yet, I may be scared for the future, but I wasn't alone and it was okay. That song was the acoustic version of the legendary theme, possibly one of my favourite video game songs, period. After seeing all this footage, I'm sure you've noticed the cartoony art style, and I know this may prevent some people from wanting to play the game, but this is where I have to encourage you to do the opposite. Guitaroo Man does have a cartoony art style, I can't argue with that, but the story is something that can apply to anyone. That being said, the voice acting in this game does suffer from a case of the... Ooh, I'm not sure that came off right. Ooh.
Where's Puma? Puma! Puma! Puma, where'd you go? Why'd you leave me? What am I gonna do all by myself? Puma!
I consider this game's voice acting a guilty pleasure. I love it, because it's really goofy, but I think the game knows it's goofy as well and just rolls with it.
I can do it, I can! I can!
There's no way you can!
And I can!
You can!
Because I can!
Because what?
Because...
Say it! Because what?
I can do it because... Because I'm Guitar!
Unlike other games who are slightly less aware of how goofy they are.
Ah! No, this isn't happening. There's no reason for me to go on. What am I fighting for?
The people responsible for the soundtrack to this game were the Japanese band Coil. Although I can't find anything that they've done before or after the game, I can honestly say, from the perspective of someone who just enjoys games and music, that they truly hit the soundtrack out of the park. Not to forget the amazing opening theme that I played earlier in this video. The eclectic soundtrack perfectly represents how it feels to be U1. In the beginning, he's lost, alone, and ridiculed by everyone. But by the end, he finds who he's meant to be, overcoming the bullies and the people who doubted him and saving the day. I think that is a perfect summation of the music popular around the time that Gitaroo Man first came out. Now, I don't want to play all of the music in the game though. I want you all to experience the game in the same fashion as me. It may look like a silly game on the outside, but to me, this game helped me overcome my fears and become okay with not being okay. But this has been why Gitaroo Man means a lot to me. I hope you have an amazing day, or night, depending on when you watch this, and I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.